Oh man, Uber is up over 11% in a market which is super volatile. You've got the Evergrande crisis, we've spoken about the COVID Delta variant, we've spoken about the debt ceiling concerns, but Uber's still up 11%. Now look at that single daily candle taking them straight through their EMA ribbon and flipping from bearish to bullish in just a single candle. But what exactly happened? Well, what happened is Uber have updated their outlook on Q3 performance. So how this works is when Uber provides their Q2 earnings to the SEC, they file their 8K, they provide guidance on what they think they could achieve in Q3. Now, they shared that they thought gross bookings will be between 22 billion and 24 billion. Now that Q3 has started and they've been trading for a while, they've come in and revised that to 22.8 billion to 23.2 billion. So they've revised that lower bound up, which means they're expecting far more gross bookings than previously anticipated, and the market is taking to that very nicely. Now, the CEO, he said, crisis often breeds opportunity, and he says that's been exactly the case for Uber, who've benefited from this pandemic, and they've managed to capitalize on that in their gross booking. And the shares are obviously reacting really well. But the key thing here is not just the gross bookings, but it's this next piece of revision that they've done on their outlook, which is their adjusted EBITDA. Now, previously, they expected adjusted EBITDA to be a loss of around 100 million, okay? They revised that to now a loss of either 25 million to positive 25 million. And that is what the market is responding to right now. That is phenomenal, and it shows that they're now getting there towards profitability, and that's a long time promise that they've made to investors. They said we're going to be profitable soon, and they're nearly there. And the final beauty thing which is driving this stock price right up right now is the fact that they said for Q4 we're giving updated guidance, we expect a profit. Okay, so they said they actually expect adjusted EBITDA to be 0 to 25 plus million in Q4. So they're expecting a profit in Q4, which is very interesting. And we've seen good growth from Uber. I mean, it's taken a hit, as we can see on the charts here. Uber's not been a favorable stock. I mean, ever since, let's see, so we started dropping after April, May, once things started trying to open back up, people quickly rotated out of Uber and we fell. We covered a little bit there, and it's just been a slow bleed for Uber. And I've got a small position in Uber, but that's a slow bleed down there, and it's kind of expected. But Uber's a long play. I don't see them going anywhere. They're a solid stock. The world economy now relies on it, right? It's a staple of people's lives, and therefore it's not going to go away. Just like Amazon's not going to go away overnight. But interestingly, this is really shown some solid growth. We saw in Q2 that Uber delivered 1.51 billion trips, guys. 1.51 billion trips across the world, and that's up 4% from Q1. To put this into perspective, Q2 in 2021 was 100% up on Q2 last year, which is in the peak of the pandemic. Okay, so this is phenomenal growth for Uber, and no doubt they're going to have people which say, oh, they could be doing better, and they're going to get drowned by a bunch of court cases. I think naturally that's a risk of doing business, particularly in such a disruptive industry like Uber, but that's the reason they're up right now. They've revised guidance, they see light at the end of the tunnel of becoming profitable, and this is a big step. I remember when this happened for Amazon, this was a really big step. Jeff Bezos continually said to investors, we will be profitable eventually. We just need to keep plugging away, growing revenue, then working on OPEX further down the line. And he had that vision. He built the business to a size and then made it profitable. And now Dara over at Uber seems to be doing the same. So this is going to be received really well by Coinbase Uber investors. The stock is obviously up 11% despite a really volatile market. Will it hold this? I don't know. By the time I upload this video, it could tank. I mean, that's the state of the market we're in right now. And speaking of the market, let's see where we're at the time of filming. So you can see here, we're now green. But look at this. Let's take a look at this. Look at this. So the S&P, you can see the S&P here. Started off green, dipped red, now back green. Same with the Dow, dip green, dip red, back green, dip red, back green. I mean, it's a crazy market. By the time I post this, it could dip back red again. So we really don't know what environment we're in right now. It's a volatile market. Like I said, let's take a look at where the VIX is sitting, which is our indicator for volatility. And you can see VIX is just jumping up and down all over the shop. So you can see we wicked up here back to 26, back down now, sitting at 23. I've seen lows of 21. This is how the VIX is volatile, right? Irony there, because it's the volatility index and it's volatile in itself. But there you go, guys. It shows that the market is a bit on edge right now. They need some reassurance. They need, there's a bunch of things which the market is not happy about right now. We understand that markets are all based on confidence and calmness. They want to know where are they heading. So in terms of this US debt ceiling, that's weighing on investors' head. They just want to know what's going on. What's the date? When are you going to raise the debt ceiling? That's all. They don't want people to play chicken. They don't want politics games. They just want it resolved. Same with the Delta variant, right? People can deal with a pandemic or an illness where they know this is when it's going to end. You're going to close your business down for this many months, but you're going to get back to normal revenue by this date. But nobody can give them those assurances, right? It's an unprecedented environment. And then on top of that, this Evergrande issue is weighing on foreign investors as well, because like I said in my previous video, if you haven't watched that, check that out. The likes of BlackRock, the likes of UBS, the likes of PIMCO, the likes of Alliance Bank, UBS, they have immense exposure to Evergrande, which they've been building up in July and August. And offshore investors seem to be the first to be asked to write off this debt. So it looks like they're going to default on their offshore debt first. That's my hunch. And that's why the markets aren't so confident right now. They want a clear plan for pension funds, for mutual funds, for ETFs, for high net worth individuals to plant their money somewhere. They need to be sure of where the market's heading, right? They want a clear road ahead of what's going on, and then they can place their money with confidence. But at the moment, you've just seen money moving left and right. People aren't sure, into Bitcoin, into commodities, into treasury yields, into equities. They just don't know, and they've got all this money which they need to assign somewhere, but no clear direction of where the market's heading. And that's why you see spikes in the VIX index. That's why you see the S&P go green at the start of the day, back dip into red, back into the green now. Will it close red? I don't know. By the time I post this, we will know. And that's ultimately going to weigh on investors' mind. But overall, good news for Uber. At least they're up 11% and taking advantage. It seems like when the rest of the market is doing well, Uber was bleeding, and now that the rest of the market's a bit confused, Uber's going for it. So it seems like they have negative correlation to the rest of everybody else. Good news if you're invested in Uber. It's a good sign that they're heading towards profitability. A profitable company is always a more healthy company. I know that can often be forgotten in today's day and age, where everybody's just so focused on revenue and user growth and, I want 1 million billion users. I get that. But at the end of the day, for long-term investable companies, which are going to be around like Amazon, Google, Netflix, Facebook, the FANG companies, you need to have a level of profitability to navigate difficult times. And I think it's important that Uber starts reaching a level of profitability. They've been, managing that for a long time now, not being profitable. And I think it's about time that they become that staple and become profitable. Anyway, guys, if you found this video useful, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so I know to provide more content like this. And I will see you in the next one.